Skimpit?
The troopers in the King's Cavalry, Corporal Jackman. Not sextons in a graveyard. We're not used to this work.
Swipe some of that butterfat off you, Bates! And mark me well. Let the Roundheads get over this trench and scale that castle wall. You'll all be sextons, digging your own graves for Cromwell's men to bury you in. More upright with those, Saltmarsh.
I know the right angle to prick their asses, Corporal. I see men and horses impaled on these at the siege of Breda. And no way to get free for all their screaming.
Here, the firing step, where the men may gain the height to fire their muskets and yet be protected. And these, spiked palisades in the trench the whole way along.
Yeah, they're well done. What did you say they were called, Tom?
Swedish feathers, Father. Old Gustavus Adolphus first used them in the Low Countries.
Look here, Corporal. We've a visitor.
Martin! Horsemen approaching!
One of their scouts, perhaps, come to assess our strengths and disposition.
Shall we stand to arms, sir?
Not yet, hold hard! Seems he wears one of our old burgonets on his head. Looks like one of our troops, Sir Martin.
He's carrying heavy baggage by the look of him.
It's not baggage, Father. That's a wench on his pack horse.
What?
It's Dick Skinner.
Skinner? But he was reported slain at Crepidi Bridge.
Aye.
Missing, believed slain. Corporal Jackman! It's Dick Skinner! Go and see to him!
I will, sir. Most willingly.
Dick Skinner, lads! We can do with another pair of hands.
Good gamekeeper, Dick. Like his father before him.
Aye, and a fine marksman, and that more to the point in the present case.
My mind keeps going back to the old days. They were good times here before this festering war. Remember your first hare, Tom? Old Skinner was beside himself.
I remember it. Just over there by Tinker's Goss. It was a lucky shot.
Good marksmen. And defenses we may have, but there are not men enough here to hold this place against the rebels. If they attack us hard.
There's no immediate change here, Charles. This war will not be won defending castles, but on the battlefield, between armies. Arnscourt and many houses like it are made defended as the outer shield of Oxford. Well, that is but prudence, a fallback in case the tide should turn against us.
Can you not stay with us now, Tom? See it through.
No, Father. Once this work is done, I must join Prince Rupert and the army about Leicester. In 2 days' time, you'll have Peter Crane back from his furlough.
I'd soonest have you.
I cannot deny my orders, Father. I'm needed with the army.
Dick! But, Dick! It's my poor Richard come back from the dead! You look as if the devil's at you for breakfast. Skin and bone.
Let him be.
Why? Who's this? You brought our woman back with you, then?
Found her on the way, not far from here. More dead than alive.
And filthy enough by the look of her to be put out on the men.
Leave her be, Rachel.
Oh, Saviour, if it's not Dick Skinner.
Good wife.
You wounded, Dick?
I've had a few sharp knocks and cuts along the way, Mr. Jackman.
Take him to the kitchen, Walter.
Aye.
Rachel, get back to the laundry. What's your name, girl?
'Tis Moll, ma'am. Molly O'Flanagan.
You came over with the soldiers, with the army?
No, ma'am. My father was a tinker on the road. There was a lot of us. And the soldiers came and burned our carts and killed me father and me mam. It was on account of we were Catholics, so they said. And I stole away down the ditch until after dark. And then I ran until my legs gave up the ghost and I thought to die by the
We
roadside.
don't kill Catholics in this place, Molly. You're one of God's creatures and hungry. You shall have bread and a place to lay your head. Come with me.
May the Lord bless you for a good, kind lady, ma'am.
Well, Skinner, we're glad that you're back.
I'm right glad to be back here at Arnscott, Sir Martin.
I have Captain Pike's report here on the Battle of Crupidi Bridge, and he reports you're dead. Both Corporal Jackman and Trooper Ableford saw you hit in the chest by a musket ball in the first charge. They say you were knocked off your horse by the power of it and never seen again.
I said that were right. I were unhorsed, but my coat took the force of the bullet.
Ah.
And then a big fella banged me on the head with a pike. And that would glory be for me, but for some kind peasant woman. I knew it not, but she nursed me back to health. My brain were addled as an egg for months.
It's lucky you Skinners have thick skulls.
I see. And our troop them stout burgonet caps. Reckon that saved my life.
Well, how came you back here? By what route?
The way of Swinford town, Sir Martin.
You were lucky not to be recognized. Swinford is held by the rebels.
Saving your grace, not at this present. Swinford is crawling with royalist deserters. Officers and men, a rabble of drunken, rioting cutthroats. Setting fire to Puritan houses by the score, whipping women through the streets.
My daughter, Mistress Fletcher, lives in Swinford.
I remembered that, Sir Martin, but I knew not the house. I can't say how Mistress Fletcher may be faring now, or any on the side of Parliament.
Well, thank you, Skinner. You've done well. You may rejoin the Lacey troop.
Thank you, Sir Martin.
And welcome back to Arnscott.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Tom?
If things in Swinford are as bad as Skinner says they are, I'd best ride over to make sure Anna's come to no harm. With John away in London.
I think indeed you had.
Goodwife Margaret would have a word with you, Sir Martin.
Can you not deal with it, Cropper?
It is a somewhat delicate matter, a family matter.
Oh, well then.
Sir Martin, 'tis the situation of Mistress Prothero.
What situation? She works in the laundry. We all know full well why.
She's not well.
Oh.
She doesn't whine or whimper at her lot, but such a delicate, well-born lady is ill-suited to such work.
She is there to learn that delicate, well-born ladies should not go a-whoring with the enemy, to put the matter bluntly.
She many times has fits of fainting, and I fear she may suffer a flux of the lungs.
Well, what else to put her to? For work she must as a punishment.
She's wondrously skilled with her needle. Her stitching and embroidery would fit her well for the sewing room.
Think you, sir?
Yes. And this Irish lass that's come with Skinner would seem a strong and willing girl to take her place in the laundry.
Well, do as you please. These petticoat matters are no concern of mine.
Yes, thank you, Sir Martin.
I will inform Mistress Prothero of your intentions, Sir Martin.
No, Cropper. No, she's my kinswoman. My niece, indeed. It would be more proper for my son to tell her. Tom, go seek out your cousin.
Me, Father?
Aye. 'Tis a family matter.
Good day, cousin.
Good day, Cousin Tom. You're a stranger to this steamy place. What brings you here? To ensure your cousin does her penance?
I come from my father.
Forgive me, Tom. The faintness will soon pass.
I come from my father. You have done your penance. Your punishment is over.
And I am cleared.
You are to work with Goodwife Margaret in the sewing room. And sit at table with us once again.
Oh, Tom. Oh, you bring such pleasing news. For I think I could not have endured this place much longer. And now we can be cousins in reality. And become acquainted as good cousins should.
You have my father's message. Now I must go, for I have urgent matters to attend to.
Rachel, I'm to leave the laundry and go to work in the sewing room.
Are you?
My thanks for your kind companionship. It has been a comfort to me in such a place as this.
You'll find a better kind of comfort where you're going. And better company, to be sure. She wasn't good for much. She was a pair of hands. They've taken Mistress Prather away from here. How shall I finish the laundry, good wife? I'll be all day and night, and nothing dry.
I brought the new girl to help you. Molly?
A little Irish trollop that came with my deck. And what does she know about clean linen?
What you tell her, she's most willing to help.
Indeed, I'll do whatever you ask, ma'am.
You do as I say.
And I shall, good wife Margaret.
What shall I be after doing first, miss?
You can scrub the floor. Every inch of it.
So I shall, miss.
Not like that. Down on your knees, you little slut.
Stop it! What do you want of me treating me so rough?
I want you out of here, papist whore.
Oh, my Joby, to speak to me like that.
I'll tell you who I am. I'm Rachel Pryke, Dick Skinner's girl, and you're a poxy little Irish imposter. And we don't want the likes of you soiling the laundry with your filthy, dirty Catholic hands, so you can get back to your tinker's cart and your fornicating priest.
Leave her be! Stop howling! Stop it, at once! What part have you in this disgraceful affair, Skinner?
I've been trying to stop them, Mr. Cropper. They were too strong for me, the pair of them. Had it like terriers.
She started it, calling me a papist who took hold of my hair.
And so she is, Mr. Cropper. A papist witch, not fit to be amongst us. Look at this!
I am steward in this house, Rachel. It is I who shall decide this woman's future. And yours as well.
What happened?
Oh, good wife, Margaret. Take Rachel to the servants' quarters. Give the wench a sound thrashing and send her to bed without her supper. That'll teach her to brawl during working hours.
So be it, Mr. Cropper. Come with me, Rachel.
They were Rachel's fault entirely, Mr. Cropper. That I'll swear to. Rachel Pryke were all evils of a jealous temper. There's no harm in this poor orphan girl.
I'll work my fingers to the bone for you, Dick, so I will. And may the Lord bless you for a good and kindly man.
I'll speak for her, Mr. Cropper.
Well, do so then. Put her to some outside task. But be warned, if there be any further trouble, she'll be turned off this place and left to fend for herself. And these are not healthy times for Irish Catholics in these parts. I'm accursed by women in this place. Quarrelsome, brawling, chattering women. Always needing something or complaining.
You're too soft with them, Father. You and Tom.
What do you know of these things, child?
I'm not a child, Father. I'm a woman now.
You are so. How then are we so soft?
Well, at the first breath of rumour, Tom runs off to Swinford.
His sister Anne is indeed threatened there by drunken Cavalier deserters. Is it not the price she should pay for being on the side of Parliament?
You're uncharitable. She is your sister. She's with child. Natural Tom should feel concerned for her safety.
Well, she'll not be concerned for his. If we are troubled here or in danger, Anne would not lift her little finger to help us. Not one finger. You'll see.
You have become hard, Lucinda. Too hard.
I've had a hard upbringing in these 3 years of war. I've seen some hard things done, but likely to see more. I fear weakness above all things.
When the time comes, you will not find us weak.
And when will that time come? Surely, we need some great battle to end this war.
Oh, stand aside. There's a good fellow. No, sir. I had my orders. Oh!
Ah, welcome, fellow, welcome. Drink. I've commanded more wine. Have a drop yourself, eh?
Who are you?
Oh, my lord, not another one.
Have no fear. Who are you?
I'm Emma, sir. Me to Mistress Fletcher, who lives here.
I am Mistress Fletcher's brother, Emma.
Oh, forgive me, sir. I took you for another of these wild animals run away from the king's army. 2 whole days they've been here drinking and wenching the place like a pigsty. And there's more of them down in the cellar, drunk as aldermen, and all the master's wine gone. And one of them tried to...
Where is your mistress, Emma?
Upstairs, sir. She's locked herself in a chamber for fear of being...
Will, look after Emma. Get these people out of the house. Remind them, at sword point if necessary, that they are trespassing on private property.
I will, sir. All right, come on, ladies, off with you.
Now, madam, take a glass of wine with me. Come, come, 'tis the rebel fellow's best vintage.
And who may you be, sir?
Aye, sir. My name is Captain Geoffrey Black, an officer in the King's service. And you, sir?
I'm Captain Thomas Lacey, also in His Majesty's service, and staff captain to His Highness Prince Rupert.
Indeed.
Yes, and I order you to leave this house at once.
You are plainly unaware, sir, that this house is for Parliament, and its occupants our enemies, yours and mine. And my officers and I have fought long and hard in the field for the King's cause, to which you yourself are loyally subscribed. Are we not all of us entitled to the spoils of war?
This house is private, and you have no right to be here in a woman's bedchamber.
Oh, we both have every right to be here, but I have the greater right being here first. So go downstairs, my friend. The rebel fellow who owns this place has some good wine in the cellar. Partake of it, and wait your turn.
This lady does...
or no, she is mine, so away with you.
If there is no other way to save this lady from your unwelcome presence, then I suggest we settle the matter honorably.
A foolish gallant indeed. I was rightly known as the best sword in Lord Cleveland's brigade.
'Tis a pity you bring shame on such a fine commander.
The place is clear, sir.
We'll go to the coach house in the yard. Rouse Jeffries, bid him prepare a carriage. Emma, pack what you need for your mistress and yourself.
Yes, sir.
Make haste about it. Greetings, sister.
Tom.
I must thank you for the demise of Captain Black. I had prepared for his end in a less gallant manner.
You were ever cool and prudent. So, I'm to be an uncle, and the Fletchers to rejoice.
You have all the news.
Yes, we have all the news at Arnscote. That is why I am here. Come now, get dressed.
What for?
We leave at once.
Leave? Where for?
I'm taking you back to Arnscote with me.
To Arnscote? For what purpose? All I seek for Emma and myself is protection from your loutish friends, who in a proper army should be stripped of their rank and thrashed. What are you doing, Emma?
Packing, Mum, as commanded.
Then stop. I hope you are proud of the drunken rabble we have suffered here, who call themselves officers of the king and were no better than a ranting, raping mob of cutthroats.
Continue packing, Emma. I cannot guarantee protection from my loutish friends. That is why I'm taking you with me.
Arnscote is no longer my home.
What is it then?
Tom, it is a royalist house. It is held by my enemies.
Where is your husband? Why is John not here?
He is at the Parliament in London. I would not go with him because I wish to stay here, This is my home.
So, you prefer to remain here in Swinford at the mercy of these cutthroats and be delivered of your baby in the streets, for they'll have you out of the house, be sure of that.
Yes, I do prefer it, Tom. I wish to stay.
Oh, no, ma'am. Be wise. Let's go to Arnscote. For the sake of the unborn babe, let your mother take care of you.
No, Emma. I will not leave this house. My mind is made up.
And so is mine. I'm taking you home.
What are you doing?
Now!
Let go!
Emma, bring a cloak!
Let go of me, Tom! How dare you!
As good wife Margaret used to tell us when we were little, you were the one with brains, I had the brawn. Tonight, brawn wins.
I will never forgive you for this, Tom. Never. Never.
Here lies Captain Black, a dubious cavalier, who fell while attempting to reduce a parliamentary stronghold. Swinford, June 1645. Leicester is taken with much booty. Lord Fairfax and the rebel army have raised the siege of Oxford and moved north. So, Arnscote must be safe from any large attack. Yeah. The main rendezvous for the King's armies is about Daventry. Then we move to draw the Roundheads north out of their ground.
Surely you can sleep for a few hours before you go, Tom. You've had precious little rest this night.
No, I'm in good heart, Father. So is Will. I wouldn't rest if I could. The Prince's message speaks of urgency, and all the omens are good to force a general engagement upon Fairfax and Cromwell.
A final battle, do you think?
There can't be many left in this damn war.
Well, Cromwell has built them his new model army.
So-called, they're all conscripted men. It's taken 5 ordinances to press them. And some violence and force, that cools the ardour somewhat in a soldier's blood. No, the tide runs our way, Father. Now is our chance.
How is my daughter, good wife?
She's asleep. You'd best let her rest her fill.
Yes.
I had a battle royal with her last night. I tell you, Margaret, I had to bring her in the end by force.
There's no need to tell me that, Master Tom. I fought those battles with that child since she was so high. You remember?
I do remember. I thought of you last night, and I did as you would have done.
Ah, you were ever the biddable one.
All is prepared, Master Tom.
Thank you, Will.
Oh, we must tame this obstinate daughter of ours, eh, Margaret? But gently. Anne's had life somewhat rough for one in her condition.
I leave you both to tame my sister. I must away. To tame this Cromwell. Farewell, dearest Margaret. Father.
Sit down a little, Margaret.
Yes, Martin.
What a family we have. If my dear wife is looking down upon us now, I wonder whether she's laughing or crying.
She'd certainly be very proud.
Almighty God, King of all kings, save and deliver us, we beseech thee, from the hands of our enemies. Abate their pride, assuage their malice, and confound their devices. And in this time of danger, protect our beloved son and all this family, that being armed with thy defense, we may once again be granted peace and prosperity. For thy name's sake. Amen.
There's ditches and earth mounds all round the walls. And men with guns on the battlements.
Are there?
They must be expecting a big battle, I suppose. Why, up there, Mystique, and we'd have been best to
Stop
stay where we-
chattering, Emma. Bring me my grey shawl.
Oh, I never brought it, ma'am. In the haste, I didn't think to put it in.
Emma, whoever that may be, I do not wish to see them.
Welcome, dear child. Back to your own room and your own bed.
Are you to be my jailer, good wife, Margaret?
We're all so pleased at your most welcome news. Are you well?
Well?
I mean, in your condition.
I'm quite well, thank you. It's really not unusual for a married woman to conceive a child. It is hardly the best treatment for one in my condition to be seized from her chamber in the middle of the night and trundled halfway across the country in a jolting carriage. It is not my intention to be brought to bed of my firstborn in this house.
I came to inquire if you were comfortable and to attend to any needs you may have, anything you wish.
I would like my carriage at the door within the hour.
Your father sends his greetings, and will see you in his room at your convenience. In the meantime, should you require further of me, you may send your maidservant. Good day, Mistress Fletcher.
Well, I never.
I wish to rise. Bring me my comb and brush. Father.
Good day, Anne.
I had no idea you were so hurt.
Hurt? Oh, yeah, I was well and truly hurt by this damned thing. But for this house being short distance from the battlefield and the king's concern for me, I would be feeding the merry worms on Edge Hill slopes with many another honest Christian Englishman.
Does it pain you still?
Some days I manage well enough, as a crab does. I can predict the weather better than most men. Now sit down, child, and tell your father of your fury and anger at this unjust abduction from your house.
Tom had no right.
He was acting on my orders, Anne. I have every right to protect and keep in safety my beloved elder daughter, the more so for what you carry in your belly.
That is a Fletcher.
That is my grandchild. Together there is no value I could put upon you.
Am I to be kept a prisoner here?
We are all prisoners here. You are to remain within these walls as a daughter of the house with all care and comfort due to you.
My old house has become a fortress. It is well closed up.
In defense against our enemies, that is all. Oh, I detest this war, as well you know. And the longer it drags on, the less I like it.
It will drag on. Until the foolish king can be forced at sword point to disband his army and rule this land through Parliament.
And I care not for a rebellious Parliament that seeks to overturn the state.
Father, I cannot...
And we are on different sides. We each have our very good reasons. The sad truth is that in a civil war, hate is the only winner. It spawns bitterness and bile. Even in this house, there is dissent, daily quarreling. Hatred trickles down the walls like poison.
And you would keep me here against my wish? Against the wishes of my husband?
By no means, Anne. If John came today to claim you back, he could take you, and most willingly, but he's in London.
Then you could send word to him.
Anne. Outside these walls, it's a hornet's nest, as well you know. Anarchy, no government, no law and order. The rude, ungoverned multitude threaten ruin and destruction to all, wherever they prevail. You know this.
So, I am to be content with my lot in this safe place.
Yes.
Don't think I don't see your double cunning in this kidnapped father.
How so?
Am I not both prisoner and hostage?
You jest.
I do not. Cromwell's men are well ordered. They would never attack a castle where a Parliament member's wife was held prisoner. I see it all now. I am a very useful hostage.
You should have been a politician. I've always said it.
I shall try my best to be a model prisoner. And a worthy hostage. No, Father, stay seated.
Oh, I'm not a cripple, woman.
It must be Cousin Anne.
Yes.
I am Susan Prothero, and you are so welcome here. Your maid told me she'd forgot your shawl. I hope you will let me give you this one of mine.
That is kind of you.
I'm pleased to help you, cousin, for I think we have much in common. I sometimes feel I, too, am a prisoner in this house.
Oh, I'm sure you are not. Since you are my father's niece, I'm sure you have been treated well.
Not well, to confess it. I have been in thumbscrews and put to work in the laundry.
Do you speak true?
It was a sad misunderstanding. A parliamentary officer who came here in search of silver after your husband was here.
Marsh?
Yes, Captain Marsh.
Is Colonel Marsh now?
Oh. He invited me to dine with him in his room. And then he took me against my will. I had no choice but to obey for fear my resistance should jeopardize the whole household and put them in danger. As a woman, I'm sure you will understand.
I understand too well.
He was, in all honesty, a man of courtesy and high intelligence.
I must confess, I found him neither.
I am quite foolish and ignorant about affairs of state. But Colonel Marsh talked to me of politics, of the king's deceptions and his evil papist councillors, and of the wisdom and patience of the Parliament. He spoke, too, of the war and his convictions. He liked to talk much of his convictions, which I own I found most reasonable and close to my own sentiments. Forgive me if I confess all this on such a small acquaintance. But I thought, as we were private, you should know that
we are on the same side. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Then, I am pleased to have an ally, Cousin Susan. Susan, would you be so kind as to ask Goodwife Margaret to attend me in my room?
You wish to see me, Mistress Fletcher?
Yes. I wish to tell you that in future I shall remain here in my room. I do not wish to see or be attended by anyone except my own servant Emma or my cousin Susan Prothero. In that way I may escape the ill-mannered rudeness of my sister and the hostile and offensive attitudes of this whole household. Do I make myself plain?
Indeed you do. It seems you wish to make yourself a prisoner.
A prisoner of my own faith and conscience and the allegiance I owe to my husband. Good day, Goodwife Margaret.
Good day, Mistress Fletcher.
My Lord Ferrer. Sir, I have news for your private ear.
You may speak freely in front of my daughter.
There has been a dreadful, bloody battle this day, sir, about the village of Naseby. The King's army met the parliamentary forces at dawn.
And what is the outcome?
Defeat. Our forces are in some disarray. All seemed to go our way at first. Prince Rupert broke their left wing. Our foot engaged in the center. But then Cromwell and his Ironsides broke our right. He had greater reserve than we had. Our foot began to waver. I was with the king. He stayed wondrous cool. He would have led his own lifeguard in a counter to certain death. And then all broke up, and Rupert and his cavalry rescued the king and guarded him from the field.
Is Tom safe?
Yes. He's with the prince. Sir, I am here to say that the king seeks shelter in this house tonight.
Here? When will he come?
Within the hour.
Lucinda, fetch Mr. Cropper, good wife Margaret. We, of course, are greatly honored, but how many in the entourage?
The king, the prince, Lord Digby, Ashburnham, the king's page, and myself. That's all.
And his servants?
The baggage train is lost. He has nothing left.
I see.
I must get back, sir, and meet them on the road.
Of course.
Join them down there and speak with the king. What would you say to him, my dear? I would say, Your Majesty, I am Lucinda Lacey, the girl you rewarded with this medal for bringing my father's silver safely to Oxford. Have you forgotten me? And he would say, Ah, yes, my child. And did you not ask me to send troops in the defense of your home, Arnscote Castle, in case of siege? That's so, Your Majesty, and you never kept your promise. Now Arnscote is defended by a handful of troopers from the estate, my father, who is lame, a few indoor servants, and me. And yet you are to spend the night here. If the Roundhead troopers break into Arnscote tonight, sire, and take you prisoner, it'll be your own fault.
You go down there and say that to his face. You'll soon have your pretty little neck on the executioner's block.
No, Margaret. Could a king be so cruel?
Would Your Majesty perhaps care for some other dish?
No, thank you, Lacey. I have but little appetite tonight. Forgive my abstention.
Sir, your chamber is prepared.
Then I will go to it. Good night.
What a great man we have as our master. In spite of all that's passed today, there are still defiance and bold resolve in his face. How I do admire his spirit. Taken for all in all, their numbers being near twice as many as ours was but a soft victory for the rebels. The unfortunate loss of a most hopeful battle.
You speak of a soft battle, Digby. I tell you, it was a hard battle for us who fought it. All the foot lost, and 500 dead. The king's standard taken, with many others. All the baggage, and the king's cabinet. Know you what that means? All his private correspondence with the Queen, the King of Denmark, the Prince of Orange, the secret arrangements to bring the Irish Confederate Army to England. Consider what they will make of that. It will be published in London within the week, so the world will know the most private secrets of our cause. I have had conference with the king. Tomorrow we shall go west to hold Bristol against the rebels, while the king takes all that is left with due haste north, there to recruit a new army from the loyal Welshmen and the Irish coming over to join him. And so, God help us, may we repair the disasters of this day. Come, Tom. We have plans to make and orders to give out.
An ever arrogant young puppy dog. 'Twere best the king sent him running.
Miss Lucinda. The king would have an audience with you.
The king? Me?
If you would follow me. Sir, Miss Lucinda Lacey.
Sit, child. To look upon such pretty innocence again, after the noise and clash of battle, and many days camped with rough soldiers, is like cool balm to my troubled senses. 'Tis 2 long years, is it not, since you won that medal in my cause?
Yes, Your Majesty.
It has pleased God, by many successive misfortunes, to reduce my affairs of late from a very prosperous condition to so low an ebb in the tide of fortune as to be a perfect trial of men's integrity towards me.
I am loyal, sir. As loyal as I ever was.
'Twas my fault alone that our battle was lost this day. I forsook my good nephew's advice and was gulled into following the plan of some silk-tongued courtiers who know naught of war. Know you, Lucinda, whatever else befalls me, there are 3 things I will not part with: the church, my crown, my friends and family. Whether I wish it or no, I am King of England by divine right and cannot escape that heavy duty. My family is my greatest solace and should be yours. Take that advice from me. And yet, Tonight, I think I am the loneliest man in England. My beloved Queen. In France, my son, the Prince of Wales, in the West Country, the others in Oxford, and I know not where. Now, leave me, child. I will read your father's Bible and then to my bed.
I pray to God to preserve your majesty, to grant you long life and many happy years.
Child, if God pleaseth, it shall be so, and I must submit to God's will, and you know in what hands I am.